Okay, welcome in, folks. I'm Henish, and I'm here with another great episode of Living in San Diego, joined by my friend and real estate teammate, Heather Craig. Heather,
Hi.
say hi. Heather, you've got some dog cred.
Do.
Tell me more about that.
I'm an advocate for the Humane Society. I've adopted all of my dogs, and I love them. I feel like we don't deserve dogs. They're great.
They've evolved to be our companion.
Best friends.
For sure. And so, I was hanging out at my brother's house last night, and he has his own dog, and he was watching his friend's dog for the last 13 days because they went on an international trip and left him there. But he was saying how, because he got a foster dog, he was able to see the demeanor of the dog with the foster owner before he took possession of the dog himself, which is a great technique to get a dog, because otherwise you go to a breeder and you want your special Havanese cheeky poo dog, and you're like, I don't know if it's going to start biting my ankle when it grows up.
I believe in adopt, don't shop. You can find a breed. My sister adopted a full-bred Doberman years ago. So definitely don't shop. You can find what you're looking for.
I grew up with a dog. I've had dogs in my life all my life, but now that I've got kids, I don't have a dog. I told them we'd get one eventually.
They want one.
They want one, but we get to hang out with them all the time because we hang out in the front yard and people walk by our house with dogs all the time, and we even have our own treats for dogs. So dog owners will spend a bunch of time there, and I'm not going to lie, we've even visited dog parks so the kids can play with other dogs.
Just to play with the dogs.
Well, let's get into it. Let's get into the top dog parks in San Diego. Because if you're a dog owner, you got to know where to go. And let's get into it. Dog parks. So you would spend more time at these than I do, obviously, because I just take my kids to go play with other people's dogs. But you bring your own dogs. So Nate's pops up in Balboa Park. It's on the west edge of Balboa Park, next to Bankers Hill, just south of Hillcrest and stuff. Tell me about this park.
Nate's is great. Little inconvenient for parking. It does have one big parking stretch right by the bridge, but super friendly. Everyone is there. Little dogs, big dogs. They have a water fountain. It's all dirt, but it's huge. And it's fully fenced in. They've even got the dog fence where you come in, you put your dog in, you unleash, and then you let the dog go. But great area, great location. I go there very often. Is
availability of shade, water for humans, bathroom for humans a factor?
Bathrooms for humans, no. Shade, very important, because we are in San Diego. Water for the dogs.
It seems like that's kind of the case with a lot of these dog parks, is there's no facilities for people nearby. So you kind of have to take care of your own business before you get there.
Yeah.
You can't stay too long because you might need to go to the resturm. And
well, you're not usually
it's illegal
at the
for people to pee on a tree.
Yeah, you shouldn't be doing that.
Okay.
I don't do that. But yeah, I mean, most frequently you're there from 30 minutes, maybe an hour.
Okay. So just enough to the dog get dusty and dirty and then get back in your car.
Yeah, that's the one downfall of like most of the dog parks are dirt.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of grass.
Yeah.
There's a couple secret spots throughout San Diego that have grass.
Yeah.
And those are my favorites because then I don't have to do the whole dog wash.
Okay, and then Nate's is right next to the iconic bridge, Prado Drive, that goes over the 163, and it's got those nice arches on it.
Yep, you can see the planes go over. You can hear the bells ring at the strike of the hour. Like I said, it's a beautiful location.
Great,
especially at sunset.
Okay, Grape Street. This is also part of Balboa Park. It's just on the east edge of Balboa Park now.
Yep. This one's better for parking.
Okay.
I like this a lot better. It's got a parking lot. One downfall is it doesn't have a gate. It's open. So technically it's not fully fenced, but the whole park itself is fenced. It's got benches for you to sit on. Lots of people bring their own chairs there for some reason.
So they're spending some time.
They are spending some time there.
Well, and the nice thing is, ideally there's a high density of housing nearby. So a good chunk of the population is walking there.
They do.
Yeah, so they walk there and then they can let their dog free, because if you live in an apartment complex, you've really got no place to take your dog, right? Because not a lot of people in San Diego can afford a house with a yard big enough to accommodate a dog.
Not a big dog.
And not a big dog that wants to run and stretch its legs. So you need these dog parks. Yep. Yeah, think about that in Pacific Beach. We don't have any dog parks.
You have the one going towards Kate Sessions.
Oh, that's right. At the bottom of Kate Sessions.
Mhm.
Yep. At the foot
By
of
the little
Balboa.
cottage.
Yeah, Balboa, Mount Soledad. There's a small dog park there. You're right.
Mhm.
But there's not many people that live there, so it's like a park you'd have to drive to.
Yeah.
So if you live in most of PB, there's nothing within half a mile of anyone.
Nope.
Which is really problematic because people walk their dogs, and if you live in an apartment, it doesn't make sense that you walk your dogs through the neighborhood to crap in someone else's front yard. That bothers me.
I think it was mainly for the military housing.
Probably.
On the street.
Yeah. So if you're a city official, if you have some sway, please put more dog parks throughout the city, especially anywhere there's high density housing.
And grass.
Because people have their dogs, and especially during the pandemic, remember the shelters were cleared out.
They were.
Dogs.
It was great.
Everyone wanted their dog buddies, which is great. But now you got to be able to take care of them. You have to make a lifetime commitment to pick up dog poo for the rest of the dog's life. That's more of a commitment than most people are willing to think about before they get the dog.
You're right.
Morley Field Dog Park. This is a third dog park just in Balboa Park, right? We mentioned this in a prior video, how big Balboa Park is. This is the third one. It's over there by Morley Field. And I meant to look up who Morley is because he must be someone famous in San Diego because they got the disc golf place named after him.
It's got to be a founder.
Yeah, or something important like that. He did something back in the 1800s that was worth naming a bunch of stuff after.
A bunch of different ones.
Maybe it's a female.
Grass, but no fence. This is like keep your dog on a leash. They're just running with you.
Yeah, and then there's like trails and stuff too.
Trails you can walk around.
Yeah. And it's like one of those things like, my dog always listens, except when it doesn't.
Except when it doesn't.
That's when you're like, it's off the leash and it just bit me in the butt.
That would be bad.
We go there with our kids, and I have to keep the kids close to us because they love dogs. But when dogs are at a dog park, they want to play with other dogs.
You would think so.
Not with my kids necessarily.
Some of them are very people friendly.
True.
One of my dogs is very people friendly.
Would prefer the person.
She would prefer the person over the dogs.
Interesting.
Yeah. And then my other dog is more looking for the chase.
I like that some of these dog parks, like Morley, it says it has agility equipment. Have you done this there?
I have not, but it is accessible.
Yeah.
But then again, you have your dog on the leash. So how are you doing the agility?
You have to run with it. This is also a human agility thing. You run right next to them, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I've seen these competitions go on in Liberty Station. In the courtyards there, they have it set up for agility competitions for dogs.
For the dog and the human.
Well, the human runs with it. Yeah.
It would be fun.
I mean, they're kind of pointing, or maybe they're not exactly right next to them, but they kind of guide them.
I'll test
nearby.
it out.
Yeah, guide them near. Okay, next one, Civita Dog Park. And I like Civita. I've been to the park there, but I haven't been to the dog park.
I have not frequented the dog park. It's new.
It's brand new. I'm assuming, like most of these places, it's meant to serve the immediate neighbors.
It is.
And the thousands of units that have popped up in Civita. Because one of the complaints is that there's only 8 parking spots. So if you're trying to drive to the dog park, you're out of luck. And this is like one of those neighborhoods where you can't just park in the street.
No.
There's like no street parking. So
there's no street parking. That one specifically, I think, is more for that complex.
Just for the neighbors.
That complex has gotten a lot bigger over the last couple of years.
Yep.
So I think they just had to put something, because again, you're living in a condo, you're living in a townhome. You're not in a single family residence that has a backyard. So you have to go somewhere with your dog.
Correct. Yeah, and it's all high density. There's no yards. So yeah, you have to walk there, run around, get back home. And hose your dog off, right? Is that a routine? Does every person that go to a dog park hose their dog off before they let them back in the house?
I don't know what they do,
but
I do. It's a whole day.
Yeah.
We go.
So you're not going to the dog park daily. This is like a once a week thing, special occasion, and we're getting you a wash afterwards.
We have a routine, especially one of my dogs, because he has a skin allergy. We play as much as you possibly want, get as dirty as you want, rub it all in. But when we get home, it is bath time.
Okay.
They love it.
Let's get to the dog parks that are at the beach and on the water. These are good ones, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
my favorite being Fiesta.
Okay, but that's not on the water. That's interior. It is on the water too?
It's on the water. It's on the interior of Fiesta Island.
And is there beach access for the dogs?
Beach access for the dogs.
I didn't see that part because I've walked through there, but I didn't notice they hadn't.
That's the best part.
Because the dogs get to splash around.
So much fun to play.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's just right in. I've even seen dogs paddle a mile out. It blows my mind.
Which is a little sketchy because there's power boats there.
There is, but they're further out. So They don't come right there. There's a cove that kind of protects them.
Got it. That's good to have.
It's beautiful. It's huge. It's fully fenced in. There's a little part near the water edge that, again, the dog could sneak around, but there's too much room for the dog to have fun. So I love it.
It's nice to have that because I think some people, if they're visiting or they're coming from another part of town, might not know this because the beaches in San Diego are not particularly dog friendly.
No.
So if you go to, the Pacific Beach or La Jolla beaches or Ocean Beach does have a dog beach.
Ocean Beach has a dog beach.
But the main beach is not. You can have a dog there on leash only before 9 a.m. or after 4 in the winter and after 6 in the summer.
Yep.
On a leash. So if you have it off the leash, I've seen it happen because I play volleyball on the beaches. The rangers come out and give tickets.
Yeah.
And
they just started doing that at Kate Sessions too, for some reason.
It's probably because someone got bit. It's probably because there's poops all over.
Or they're not cleaning up their mess.
That's exactly what it is. Condo complexes DNA test your dogs.
Oh, I just heard of this.
Oh, this has been going on for a while. Crazy. So if you leave your dog poo around the complex, they'll test it and fine you hundreds of dollars.
And you have to give your dog's DNA.
Correct.
When you sign your lease.
Seems reasonable.
This is crazy.
Is it crazy or is it sound?
It makes sense.
Yeah.
If you're not going to be a responsible dog owner, then yes.
Correct.
I mean, these are that's where we have to go with it.
Coronado Beach Dog Park. This is kind of the northwest edge of the Coronado, right before the naval base.
This is fun. This is great for the dogs. A full beach access.
It's on the ocean.
It is.
Is there any concern of a dog having an issue with wild animals in the ocean? A stingray, a jellyfish.
That close. I mean, you're the ocean person. I don't go in the ocean, but are they that close to shore?
Yeah, they can get that close. Stingrays are definitely on the shore.
In Coronado? I feel like they're more like La Jolla.
No, we get them in PB. They're everywhere. Yeah, they're everywhere.
Well, they are. They're in the ocean.
Yeah, they are. So if you step on one, they'll pop you.
We haven't had, thankfully, any run-ins with the animals. Some birds. Birds are fun.
Yep.
But no run-ins with the stingrays, thankfully.
Okay. Next one is Del Mar Dog Beach.
Del Mar Dog Beach is clean. You have all those beautiful views, shoreline. But again, you're right on the ocean. It's great for the dogs to play.
And it's open, and you can get to traffic there. There's no fences there.
Right.
Right. I know this area because there's beach volleyball courts there. And so
there's a pattern here.
Yeah. And so I know all the beach volleyball court places, and so I'll play beach volleyball there. But you have to scour the court first because there's usually some landmines that have been left behind. Well, cool. So that's kind of the key things with dog parks is go and enjoy one. We need more of them so we don't have neighbors crap in our yards anymore. So I think that's a big thing.
We need responsible dog owners.
More responsibility. Maybe we should DNA test them all? No? Okay, just checking. That's a little much for the whole town.
That's a little much.
It's a little much.
It's like IDing. I mean, we do have to register our dogs, so...
It would be just one more step.
And then you DNA it?
Something like that. You could.
I don't see it enforceable.
No one's going to bite on that. There's too much other issues. There's too much problem with human poos in East Village right now.
Oh, jeez. That's a whole other topic.
For sure. One dog park that's your favorite go-to.
I have a secret spot. We talked about this already. Franklin Elementary School, Mid-City. They close down the school and it's all grass and they let the dogs play.
What fun. I love dogs. That's fun. Cool. Heather, thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Another great episode of Living in San Diego.